Emily was always rushing. Between her demanding office job, school drop-offs, and after-school soccer practice, she had little patience for interruptions. That morning, the first cold snap of winter had settled over the city, and her 7-year-old son, Adam, insisted on wearing the bright red scarf his late father had given him the Christmas before he passed away. It was the only thing Adam clung to that still smelled faintly of his dad. Emily, though, was in no mood for sentimentality. She just wanted to get him inside before the bell rang. As they hurried down the hall, Adam's scarf slipped from his neck and tumbled to the floor. Before Emily noticed, an elderly janitor bent down to pick it up. His hands were rough, his movements slow, but he handled the scarf with surprising gentleness. "Excuse me." Emily snapped, her voice echoing sharply in the nearly empty hallway. "That belongs to my son. Please don't touch it." The janitor froze, startled, then extended the scarf back toward her. She snatched it, her cheeks flushed with irritation. But instead of walking away, the janitor leaned closer, his voice trembling. He reminds me of Daddy," he whispered, glancing at Adam with misty eyes. Emily blinked, taken aback. "What did you say?" she asked, softer now. The old man swallowed hard, his gaze dropping to the scarf. "I used to have a little boy, years ago. He wore a red scarf just like this. Every morning, before school, he'd run down the hall and call me Daddy. But I lost him in an accident. Haven't stopped missing him since." The scarf in Emily's hand suddenly felt heavier, almost sacred. She looked at her son, who stood quietly, hugging his backpack. For the first time in a long while, she realized how precious these small moments truly were, and how easily they could slip away. Her anger melted into shame. I'm so sorry," she whispered. "I shouldn't have spoken to you that way." The janitor gave a faint smile, his eyes glistening. "It's all right, ma'am. Just, hold on to that scarf. And hold on to him." Emily nodded, her throat tight. She took Adam's hand, squeezing it firmly, silently promising herself she'd never let rushing blind her to love again. That evening, Emily couldn't stop replaying the janitor's words in her mind. "He reminds me of Daddy." They echoed through her chest like a bell tolling softly in the distance. She tucked Adam into bed, smoothing the red scarf across his nightstand as she always did. But instead of hurrying away to answer emails, she lingered. "Mom." Adam's sleepy voice pulled her closer. "Yes, sweetheart," she whispered. "Why was that man so sad when he gave me the scarf back?" Emily hesitated. Her instinct was to shield Adam from pain. But then she remembered the janitor's watery eyes, the honesty in his grief. She took a deep breath. "Because, honey, sometimes people carry memories that hurt, but those memories also remind them of love." That scarf reminded him of someone very special. Adam was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled faintly, his small hand clutching hers. "Like how it reminds me of Dad?" Emily's throat tightened. "Yes. Just like that." She kissed his forehead, blinking back tears. The next morning, she made a deliberate choice. Instead of rushing, she arrived at school a few minutes early. She found the janitor sweeping leaves near the playground, his shoulders stooped but his movements steady. For a moment she hesitated, unsure if he'd even want to see her again after yesterday's sharp words. But then she stepped forward. "Sir," she called softly. He turned, surprised, broom pausing midair. Emily held out a thermos. "Coffee. I thought you might like it." The old man's hands trembled slightly as he accepted it. "Thank you, you didn't have to." "I wanted to," she said firmly. "Yesterday, I was wrong. Anne. I'd like to hear more. About your son." His eyes widened, as if no one had asked him that in years. Slowly, he lowered himself onto the bench, and Emily sat beside him. He told her about little Michael, how he loved kites and soccer, how he always wore that same red scarf because it made him feel brave. His voice cracked when he spoke of the accident, of the emptiness that followed. By the time he finished, Emily's cheeks were wet. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. The janitor gave her a tired smile. "Don't be. Talking about him keeps him alive. And seeing your boy smile yesterday, it almost felt like I had him back for a moment." Emily swallowed hard, then made a quiet promise to herself: she would never let Adam's scarf, or his memories of his father, be treated as an afterthought again. She would treasure them, just as this man treasured the memory of his son. As the school bell rang, Adam ran across the playground, waving. Emily stood and took his hand, the janitor watching with a wistful smile. Before they left, Adam turned back and said innocently, "Bye, mister," waving with his small scarf-clad hand. The janitor raised his hand in return, whispering only to himself, "Bye, Michael." Emily knew that morning had changed her forever. The scarf was no longer just a reminder of the past, it was a bridge between hearts who had loved and lost, and a promise that love, once felt, never truly disappears. Please subscribe my channel.